Completely crazy crypto news has come out because Tron is going public. Today we will analyze in detail what this is all about. In fact, Justin Sun is taking Tron and combining it with the stock SRM Entertainment, thereby creating a simplified IPO. This will then be called Tron Inc. That's what it will be called. You can see here just the SRM stock alone was up by 633% from Friday's close to Monday's opening at its peak. Currently, it's still about 500% higher than it was on Friday. We'll take a look at all the details. I've had ChatGPT summarize everything so we don't waste too much time on it. But of course, we'll also go over my current positions. That means I currently have an open Bitcoin short position here, which I'll share with you. I opened it on Bitunix. Then I also have the trading bots here, which I keep you updated on in the individual videos. I also have the grid bots, which have actually made 1% in 2 days and 18 hours. At times they were even a bit higher. And my other positions that I still have open. I've realized a bit more of my XLP again. That's just the one where I'm increasing the number of coins. Bitcoin and the rest of my Ethereum holdings have remained unchanged. I'm not doing much there either because we'll also be taking a look at the chart. But what's the deal with SRM Entertainment and Tron, or rather Justin Sun? There are several articles about it, you can look them all up, they're very recently published. But now let's go through the details of what it looks like for Tron to go public. Because Justin Sun is using Tron and SRM Entertainment as a merger to get to the stock market faster. This means that an IPO, the process of going public, is avoided this way. As a result, there are fewer costs, less paperwork and similar benefits. But this SRM Entertainment merger would then be called the new company Tron Inc. That's the name it would have. All of this was organized by the Dominari Securities Investment Bank, which has very close ties to Donald Trump and Eric Trump. If we take another look at the deal highlights, as mentioned earlier, Tron Inc., that will be the name of the company in the future. Tron Inc. will bring $210 million in token assets into the new company, and it will serve the same function as MicroStrategy, meaning that crypto assets will simply be bought and held here. In this case, however, Tron will likely be the primary strategy, which is extremely good for the Tron chart. We will also take another look at the Tron chart, which actually has a very strong performance in the long term. And it appears that Eric Trump will also play a special role in this company. At the moment, this is actually possible because the SEC has essentially put the case against Tron and Justin Sun on hold temporarily since February 2025. It is now paused, but that's exactly the reason why this merger is possible, because there is no open case at the moment. And if you think back to how intensively the relationship between Justin Sun and Donald Trump has developed recently, and that Donald Trump still has nearly $12 million invested in Tron through his World Liberty Fund. I looked this up as relevant, though he made that investment very early on. On the other hand, Justin Sun is one of the largest holders of the Trump coin, this meme coin, and was also invited to those dinners. And overall, there is actually a very good relationship between them. So you can imagine why this step is now possible. What I can also gather from this is not only that he's one of the largest holders of the Trump coin, but he also invested $75 million into Trump's company, World Liberty Fi, since that is Donald Trump's cryptocurrency company. And Trump's company, World Liberty Fi, also launched a stablecoin on the Tron blockchain. That means you can really see very strong connections here. And hopefully this will also result in a very good price increase for Tron in the future. And right now, it's actually no longer just talk, this has already been set in motion, so it's going to happen. Let's not just look at SRM Entertainment for this, I also want to show you the Tron chart overall. Many people who have been following me for a long time know that I use Tron, or rather I bought Tron when it was in the price range of 0.02. That was somewhere around this area. It already experienced a huge pump, but I never sold. And if we look at where Tron has gone in the meantime, I sold the first third of my Tron holdings at around 0.36, and that was a price increase of about 3000%, which is what I was able to capture here. It will now be interesting to see whether we get further such increases through the merger of SRM Entertainment and Tron, so that we then have Tron Inc., which, as mentioned earlier, would then act like MicroStrategy and build up crypto assets, thereby increasing the company's value. And if Tron really does end up at the top, then you can imagine where prices might go in the future. So it remains exciting, and I will keep you updated on how things develop, because I've been keeping a close eye on Tron the whole time due to my holdings. But now let's move on to Bitcoin. We have Bitcoin after all. I analyzed it in the last video. That worked out wonderfully as well. Unfortunately, my price target was not reached. If we look at this here, I'll quickly turn off the CME gap. We had this breakout here. So as I mentioned before, we had this ascending triangle here. We had a breakout to the upside. My price target would have been higher based on the liquidation heat map, but also because of the Fibonacci extension. I would have speculated on around 110.0, which was a price target in the liquidation heat map from this liquidation zone, but that has since calmed down a bit and there have been fewer liquidations here. But we can see here that a lot of new short orders have come in, which are now pushing the price down. That's also the reason right now I can quickly show you here. I did this morning on the 15-minute chart just as I share it with you. Quite simply with trend lines so that we have a descending trend, had a small recovery here, and then broke through this upward trend to the downside. That's also where I entered my short position, which is currently working out well. In this case, my price target would be around 105,700. I would take this support here, which gives me a wonderful risk-reward ratio of 1 to 6.22. If we take a quick look at this on the 1-hour chart, we can see that if we expand this a bit, we also have the possibility of forming a new triangle in this case. That means we've made a new low here, which was once again perfectly at this key level, this green key level that I have down here. By the way, why did I also go long down here after this price dump caused by the declaration of war? It's simply because we have this massive demand zone here, which has already served as support several times. And in fact, it was tested right at the lowest point. I'm also keeping this long position open for now. This is exactly the one I've already reduced it a bit or taken some profits, because overall I still think we can reach this liquidation area up here. But of course we also have to be careful not to target this liquidation level down here, because that could happen very quickly if we get more short orders coming in and the price continues to fall. Because if we look at the 3-month time frame, and this is something I'm still paying close attention to, I still believe this price target has a high probability of being reached due to this liquidation zone here between 100,000 and 99,000 US dollars. And that's actually quite a lot. We have quite a bit sitting here. But if we look at it right now, the current price compared to the liquidation spikes, you can see that above us there are significantly more short liquidations than there are long liquidations below us. Now the question is, will we first reach this price range and this price range here from 104.0 to around 103.0, which is also the range where there was massive long activity. After the declaration of war and the resulting dump, in the days that followed, once support was found here, quite a few longs were built up below that level. And these are now exactly the price ranges where the liquidations are located. Or do we say, hey no, we have such strong liquidation spikes above this level? If you look at this here at 109,602 US dollars, we have around 700 million just sitting on Binance. If we go a bit higher to 110, 202, we have another 900 million on Binance. I'm only talking about Binance here without including the other exchanges. And of course that could be very, very interesting for the market makers so they can pick that up as well, which would also fit with the liquidation zones above us. That's why I'm actually still a bit cautious here. I also have both a short and a long open. If the long goes into the negative, I would simply compound it in this price range here between 100,000 and 99,000 US dollars. But I would also massively increase the positions for that with a regulated stop loss below. But for now, we still have to wait. We still have the uncertain situation in the East, although there have already been some updates from Iran indicating that they might be ready for negotiations. Otherwise, we can also take a look at the trading bots. As mentioned, the first trading bot is currently still at a loss. Yesterday it was doing well in profit for a while, now it's a bit in the loss, but that's not a problem at all, we just need to wait for it to hit the take profit. But all the other trading bots, as you can see here, yes, this one hit its take profit yesterday. With this price increase, it now has 8 new safety orders. I even have that one today because it still has 21 open orders. Yesterday it just barely missed the take profit. No problem at all. But today I added more budget here. I went from $3,700 to $4,100. That means I went in here and increased my position by $400, which lowered both my average purchase price and my average take profit price a bit. And the last one also hit its take profit yesterday and now it has 8 new safety orders. Then I also have the future spot, which I run with 3x leverage. That one also hit its take profits yesterday and even picked up some more today. At the moment it only has 3 safety orders open and has made just under 2% profit in 14 days. To finish up, let's look at the neutral grid bots. In the next live session we'll take a closer look at those. I'll also go into all the background on why I'm officially testing these now, even though I'm not a big fan of grid strategies. But here I've invested half in Ethereum and the other half in US Tether. And whether my Ethereum is just sitting around or waiting to be sold or multiplied in these grids doesn't really matter to me in this case, which is why I'm currently testing 2 grid bots. Right now, Bitget is also offering a 50% discount on spot fees for these grid bots. That means you get a bit more profit here, but I'm really curious to see how these will perform in the future. Otherwise, that's all for now. I don't really have anything else to report. I've shared the most interesting updates with you. If there are any major changes in the market, there will be a new video. Otherwise, I'll see if maybe I can even go live this evening so we can go through it together. I'll also open a futures martingale bot live with you. Because I want to do it again with $10,000, since the futures bot actually works incredibly well. And if I use a 2x leverage, I simply have double the profit compared to spot trading, and my liquidation risk is still extremely low. So until next time, bye bye.